Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Renuka with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails India's achievement of $400 billion exports in his Mann Ki Baat program, urges people to make the local global and enhance prestige of Indian products. Small entrepreneurs are playing a major role in government procurement through Government e-Marketplace, says the Prime Minister. DRDO successfully flight tests Indian Army's medium-range surface-to-air missile. Power Ministry issues advisory for ensuring electricity supply in view of strike call by the National Convention of Workers. India reiterates that its partnership with Maldives is a real force of stability and prosperity for the Indian Ocean region. Over 183 crore 20 lakh doses of COVID vaccines administered under the nationwide vaccination drive so far. In Swiss Open Badminton, PV Sindhu wins the women's singles title, beating Thailand's Busanan Ongmarungpa in the final at Basel. Delhi Capitals beat Mumbai Indians by 4 wickets in IPL cricket. Another match underway between Punjab Kings and Royal Challengers Bangalore and Mumbai. And in ICC Women's World Cup, South Africa defeat India by 3 wickets at Hagley Oval. As we start the bulletin, we appeal to our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today exuded pride that India achieved the export target of $400 billion. Addressing the people through his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio, Mr. Modi said that Made in India products are now reaching new markets in every corner of the world. He pointed out that when Indians become vocal for local, the local becomes global. He asked people to make the local global and augment the prestige of Indian products further. The Prime Minister said that demands for items made in India is increasing all over the world. He said it also signifies that the supply chain of India is getting stronger.
भारत से एक्सपोर्ट का आंकड़ा $400 बिलियन पर पहुंच गया है। देश विराट कदम तब उठाता है जब सपनों से बड़े संकल्प होते हैं, जब संकल्पों के लिए दिन रात ईमानदारी से प्रयास होता है तो वो संकल्प सिद्ध भी होते हैं। और आप देखिए, देश के कोने कोने से नए नए प्रोडक्ट जब विदेश जा रहे हैं, असम के हैलाकांडी के लेदर प्रोडक्ट हो या उस्मानाबाद के हैंडलूम प्रोडक्ट, बीजापुर की फल सब्जियां हो और चंदौली का ब्लैक राइस, सबका एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ रहा है। अब आपको लद्दाख की विश्व प्रसिद्ध एप्रिकॉट दुबई में भी मिलेगी और सऊदी अरब में तमिलनाडु से भेजे गए केले मिलेंगे। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये कि नए नए प्रोडक्ट्स नए नए देशों को भेजे जा रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister stated that Made in India products are now more visible than ever before in the foreign countries. Mr. Modi said the potential of India in this field is great and farmers, artisans, weavers, engineers and small entrepreneurs, MSME sector are the true strength. Prime Minister also said that small entrepreneurs are playing a major role in government procurement through Government e-Marketplace e-GEM.
घरेलू स्तर पर भी हमारे लघु उद्यमियों की सफलता हमें गर्व से भरने वाली है। आज हमारे लघु उद्यमी सरकारी खरीद में गवर्नमेंट ई-मार्केटप्लेस यानी जेम के माध्यम से बड़ी भागीदारी निभा रहे हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से बहुत ही ट्रांसपेरेंट व्यवस्था विकसित की गई है। पिछले 1 साल में जेम पोर्टल के जरिए सरकार ने 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की चीजें खरीदी हैं। देश के कोने कोने से करीब करीब 1.25 लाख लघु उद्यमियों, छोटे दुकानदारों ने अपना सामान सरकार को सीधे बेचा है।
Mr. Modi said the World Health Day will be celebrated on the 7th of April. He emphasized that the collective Indian thought on health, whether it is yoga or Ayurveda, is increasingly trending all over the world.
पिछले ही सप्ताह कतर में एक योग कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया गया। इसमें 114 देशों के नागरिकों ने हिस्सा लेकर एक नया वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बना दिया। इसी तरह से आयुष इंडस्ट्री का बाजार भी लगातार बड़ा हो रहा है। 6 साल पहले आयुर्वेद से जुड़ी दवाइयों का बाजार 22,000 करोड़ रुपए के आसपास का था। आज आयुष मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री 1,40,000 करोड़ रुपए के आसपास पहुंच रही है। यानी इस क्षेत्र में संभावनाएं लगातार बढ़ रही हैं।
The Prime Minister mentioned a number of Ayush startups. He spoke about a startup called Kapiva. This startup is based on healthy eating habits in accordance with the Indian traditions. Nirog Street was another such startup mentioned by the Prime Minister, which is a unique concept in the Ayurveda healthcare ecosystem. Its technology-driven platform connects Ayurveda doctors from across the world directly to the people. Touching upon the topic of cleanliness, Mr. Modi gave the example of Chandrakishore Patil, who lives in Nashik, Maharashtra. The Prime Minister mentioned Rahul Maharana of Puri in Odisha, who goes to the pilgrimage sites in Puri early in the morning every Sunday and clears the plastic garbage there. The Prime Minister also cited the example of Mopattam Sri Narayanan of Kerala, who has started a project named Pots for Water of Life.
मोपट्टम श्रीनारायण जी गर्मी के दौरान पशु पक्षियों को पानी की दिक्कत ना हो, इसके लिए मिट्टी के बर्तन बांटने का अभियान चला रहे हैं। गर्मियों में वो पशु पक्षियों की इस परेशानी को देखकर खुद भी परेशान हो उठते थे। फिर उन्होंने सोचा कि क्यों न वह खुद ही मिट्टी के बर्तन बांटने शुरू कर दे, ताकि दूसरों के पास उन बर्तनों में सिर्फ पानी भरने का ही काम रहे। कि नारायण जी द्वारा बांटे गए बर्तनों का आंकड़ा 1 लाख को पार करने जा रहा है।
The Prime Minister touched upon the topic of water conservation. He asked people to resolve to save every drop of water. He said there must be equal emphasis on recycling of water.
हमारे देश में जल संरक्षण, जल स्रोतों की सुरक्षा सदियों से समाज के स्वभाव का हिस्सा रहा है। मुझे खुशी है कि देश में बहुत से लोगों ने वाटर कंजर्वेशन को लाइफ मिशन ही बना दिया है। जैसे चेन्नई के एक साथी हैं अरुण कृष्णमूर्ति जी। अरुण जी अपने इलाके में तालाबों और झीलों को साफ करने का अभियान चला रहे हैं। उन्होंने 150 से ज्यादा तालाबों, झीलों की साफ सफाई की जिम्मेदारी उठाई और उसे सफलता के साथ पूरा किया।
The Prime Minister spoke about the Madhavpur Mela, which is held in the village of Madhavpur near the sea at Porbandar in Gujarat. It is said that thousands of years ago, Lord Krishna was married to Rukmani, a princess from the northeast in Madhavpur. The Prime Minister said that Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is now becoming a new example of public participation. On the 23rd of March, many celebrations were held in different corners of the country on Martyrs' Day. On the same day, Mr. Modi got the opportunity to dedicate the Biplobi Bharat Gallery at Victoria Memorial, Kolkata, to the nation. He said that the birth anniversary of two great personalities will be celebrated in April.
अप्रैल के महीने में हम 2 महान विभूतियों की जयंती भी मनाएंगे। इन दोनों ने ही भारतीय समाज पर अपना गहरा प्रभाव छोड़ा है। ये महान विभूतियां हैं महात्मा फुले और बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर। महात्मा फुले की जयंती 11 अप्रैल को है और बाबा साहब की जयंती हम 14 अप्रैल को मनाएंगे। इन दोनों ही महापुरुषों ने भेदभाव और असमानता के खिलाफ बड़ी लड़ाई लड़ी।
The Prime Minister requested all parents and guardians to ensure education for their daughters.
किसी भी समाज के विकास का आकलन उस समाज में महिलाओं की स्थिति को देखकर किया जा सकता है। मैं सभी माता, पिता और अभिभावकों से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे बेटियों को जरूर पढ़ाएं। बेटियों का स्कूल में दाखिला बढ़ाने के लिए कुछ दिन पहले ही कन्या शिक्षा प्रवेश उत्सव भी शुरू किया गया है। जिन बेटियों की पढ़ाई किसी वजह से छूट गई है, उन्हें दोबारा स्कूल लाने पर फोकस किया जा रहा है।
Mr. Modi said that many festivals are approaching and Navaratri is only a few days away. Ahead of the apricot blossom season in Ladakh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call for local for global has enthused the apricot farmers in the region. In his 87th episode of Mann Ki Baat program, referring to the Ladakh-produced apricot export to Dubai, Mr. Modi appealed to take local produce to global shores to be part of export economy. Ladakh overcame the hurdles to export its high-quality apricots and apples for the first time after becoming a union territory. Ladakh also produces the finest quality of pashmina, which has global buyers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said India's tendency has never been to do everything through government, as here government, society and spiritual authority always had an equal role. Addressing Ahimsa Yatra Sampannata Samaharo Karikram virtually, Mr. Modi said, real self-realization is possible only in the absence of any kind of addiction.
आध्यात्मिक दृष्टि से देखें तो हम स्व का साक्षात्कार तभी कर पाते हैं जब हम व्यसन से मुक्त होते हैं। ये व्यसन, ये नशा, लोभ, लालच और स्वार्थ का भी हो सकता है। जब स्वयं से साक्षात्कार होता है तभी स्वयं में सर्वम के दर्शन होते हैं। तभी हमें स्वार्थ से ऊपर उठकर परमार्थ के लिए अपने कर्तव्यों का बोध होता है।
The Prime Minister recalled the 1,000-years-old tradition of Indian faiths that emphasize constant movement. He especially noted that the Shvetambar Therapanth has made abdication of lethargy into a spiritual pledge. He complimented Acharya Mahashraman for completing 18,000-kilometer Padyatra in 3 countries. The Prime Minister said that today, amid Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the country is calling for duty towards society and the nation transcending the self. Mr. Modi said the country is moving with the feeling of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. Defence Research and Development Organization DRDO today conducted 2 successful flight tests of medium-range surface-to-air missile MRSAM at Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the coast of Odisha. The flight tests were carried out as part of the live firing trials against high-speed aerial targets. The missiles intercepted the aerial targets and destroyed them completely, registering direct hits at both the ranges. This MRSAM version is a surface-to-air missile developed jointly by the DRDO and Israel Aerospace Industry IAI, Israel, for use by the Indian Army. The MRSAM Army weapon system comprises multifunction radar, mobile launcher system and other vehicles. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has congratulated the DRDO, the Indian Army and the industry for the successful flight tests of MRSAM Army. The Power Ministry has advised all power utilities to take necessary measures to ensure normal electricity supply during strike called by Centre of Indian Trade Unions, CITU. The CITU has called a nationwide strike from tomorrow till 30th of March. In an advisory, the Power Ministry said shutdown activities planned during 28th to 29th March may be rescheduled to suitable future dates to the extent possible in the interest of the consumers of electricity. It said a 24/7 control room may be made functional for information dissemination and for handling any kind of contingency.
The newly elected MLAs of Uttar Pradesh Assembly will take oath from tomorrow. Principal Secretary of UP Assembly Pradeep Kumar Dubey said that the newly elected MLAs will take oath from tomorrow and on 29th of March also. The oath will be administered by the pro tem Speaker Ramapati Shastri at Assembly Hall. The election for the Speaker of the Assembly is scheduled on the 29th of March. India has said that its partnership with Maldives is of great consequence and a real force of stability and prosperity for the Indian Ocean region. Speaking at the inauguration of the National College for Policing and Law Enforcement in Malé today, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said defence cooperation is another key pillar of the partnership. Lauding Maldives' policy of India First and India's policy of Neighbourhood First, the minister said, in recent times, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Ibrahim Mohammed Soli, the India-Maldives partnership has achieved momentum and indeed dynamism on an unprecedented scale. Dr. Jaishankar highlighted people-to-people ties between the two countries as India was among the top sources of tourists for Maldives in 2020 and 2021, helped by the air bubble arrangement.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails India's achievement of $400 billion exports in his Mann Ki Baat program, urges people to make the local global and enhance prestige of Indian products. Small entrepreneurs are playing a major role in the government procurement through government e-marketplace, says Prime Minister. DRDO successfully flight tests Indian Army's medium-range surface-to-air missile. Power Ministry issues advisory for ensuring electricity supply in view of strike called by National Convention of Workers. India reiterates that its partnership with Maldives is a real source of stability and prosperity for Indian Ocean region. Over 183 crore 20 lakh doses of COVID vaccines administered under nationwide vaccination drive so far. In Swiss Open Badminton, PV Sindhu wins women's single title, beating Thailand's Busnan Ongba-Runfa in the final at Basel. Delhi Capitals beat Mumbai Indians by 4 wickets in IPL cricket. Another match underway between Punjab Kings and Royal Challengers Bangalore in Mumbai. And in ICC Women's World Cup, South Africa defeat India by 3 wickets at Hagley Oval. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Showcase your talent and win exciting cash prizes and merchandise. Participate now in the Election Commission of India's National Voter Awareness Contest. Log on to voterawarenesscontest.in to participate in the poster, song, video, slogan and quiz contest. Send your entries to voter-contest@eci.gov.in before 31st March.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back. You are tuned to the evening news on All India Radio. Over 183 crore 20 lakh doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in the country under the nationwide vaccination drive so far. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry today said that more than 29,90,000 COVID vaccine doses were administered to the eligible beneficiaries yesterday. The country reported over 1,400 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours, with over 1,800 COVID patients recovering during the same period. Recovery rate now stands at 98.75%. And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember revolutionary freedom fighter Jogendra Chandra Chakrabarti, alias Hirendra Jeevan Ghosh. A resident of Mymensingh, now in Bangladesh, Chakrabarti was a member of the Dhaka Anushilan Samiti. He was involved in the Sonarang postal peon assault and theft case, for which he was sentenced to 8 months rigorous imprisonment.
In 1913, Jogendra Chandra took part in the plan to kill Gordon, sub-divisional officer of Sylhet. Unfortunately, the bomb he was carrying to Gordon's bungalow to execute the plan on the 27th of March 1913 exploded in his own hands and killed him. We pay tributes to the great martyr.
We also remember social reformer Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who died on the 27th of March 1898. Sir Syed was one of the greatest social reformers and a great national builder of modern India.
He instituted Scientific Society in 1863 to instill a scientific temperament into the Muslims and to make the Western knowledge available to Indians in their own language.
In 1875, Sir Syed founded the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in Aligarh, now Aligarh Muslim University, and patterned the MAO College after Oxford and Cambridge universities. He wanted his college to act as a bridge between the old and the new, the East and the West.
The Aligarh movement helped infuse social and political sensibility into people across the nation.
Sir Syed contributed many essential elements to the development of the modern society of the subcontinent. We salute the great reformer.
We also remember nationalist Lakshmi N. Menon, who was born on the 27th of March 1899 in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. A teacher, lawyer, politician and activist, Lakshmi was influenced by Gandhian thoughts and wore only khadi clothes. Lakshmi N. Menon went to England for higher studies. She went to Moscow in 1927 to attend the 10th anniversary celebrations of the Soviet Union as a member of the student delegation. In Moscow, she met Jawaharlal Nehru, who inspired her to join politics. She had keen interest in women's issues and played an important role in establishing the All India Women's Conference, AIWC.
In 1948 and 1950, she was nominated to the Committee on Status of Women at the United Nations and was head of the Indian delegation to the UN General Assembly. She was elected as a Rajya Sabha member in 1952, 1954 and 1960. She served as Minister of State with independent charge of external affairs. Her tenure was instrumental in setting up the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station at Thiruvananthapuram. She played a vital role in shaping the foreign policy of India.
When China attacked India, she travelled across many countries as India's roving ambassador to clarify India's stand among the global community. She was also involved in setting up the Indian Space Research Organisation in Kerala.
After retiring from political activities in 1967, Lakshmi Menon turned to social work and writing. Lakshmi Menon died on the 30th of November, 1994. We salute the great daughter of India.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur today launched Tejas, training for Emirates jobs and skills at Dubai Expo. In his address, Mr. Thakur said this project is aimed at skilling, certification and overseas employment of Indians. The minister said that India has a youthful population and the government's focus is on to skill the population and provide the world with a large-skilled workforce from India. He said that Tejas aims at creating a 10,000-strong Indian workforce in the United Arab Emirates during the initial phase. This is All India Radio giving you the news.
क्या आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? ऑल इंडिया रेडियो के नए प्रोग्राम अभ्यास में हमारे विशेषज्ञ आपके सवालों का देंगे जवाब। शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे FM गोल्ड पर। इस बार का विषय है हिस्ट्री। आप इससे जुड़े सवाल व्हाट्सएप करें 9289094044 पर या सवाल ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं abhyas.air@gmail.com पर। इतिहास विषय पर आपके प्रश्न हमें 30 मार्च तक मिल जाने चाहिए। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
FSSAI has launched Food Safety Connect app for food business operators and consumers. Download this app from Google Play Store and easily apply for FSSAI registration. Consumer can use this app to register food-related complaints.
In Swiss Open Badminton Championships 2022, two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu has won women's singles title, beating Thailand's Busanan Ongmarungpa 21-16 and 21-8 in straight games at Basel this evening. With this win, the ace Indian shuttler notched up her second women's singles title of the season. Sindhu had won the Syed Modi International Super 300 in Lucknow in January this year. It was Sindhu's 16th win over Busanan in 17 meetings, having lost to the Thai only once at the 2019 Hong Kong Open. However, Prannoy HS lost to Indonesian Jonathan Christian 12-21 and 18-21 in the men's singles title clash today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated PV Sindhu on winning the Swiss Open 2022. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said her accomplishments inspired the youth of the country.
In the ICC Women's World Cup, South Africa defeated India by 3 wickets at the Hagley Oval. South Africa reached the target of 275 runs in the last ball of the last over in a nail-biting match. This was India's final group stage match. South Africa has already secured a place in the semi-finals. In setback to Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, a cabinet member belonging to Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's PTI ally, Jamhuri Watan Party, has resigned a day before no confidence vote. Shahzayan Bukti, who was serving as a special assistant to the Prime Minister on harmony and reconciliation in Balochistan, has resigned and joined the Pakistan Democratic Movement, a political front opposing the Imran Khan regime.
And in IPL cricket, Delhi Capitals beat Mumbai Indians by 4 wickets at the Brabant Stadium in Mumbai. Asked to bat, Mumbai set a target of 178 runs for Delhi, but Delhi chased the target comfortably with 10 balls remaining. And in the second match, Royal Challengers Bangalore were 170 for 2 in 17.3 overs against Punjab Kings at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Mumbai. Earlier, Punjab captain Mayank Agrawal won the toss and elected to field first. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to have clear sky. Temperature will vary between 20 and 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 24, maximum around 36 degrees. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 27 and 35 degrees. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 26 and 35 degrees. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 7 and 25 degrees. Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Leh is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 1 and 14 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 8 and 28 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 13 and 32 degrees Celsius. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze. Hyderabad will have generally cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder or lightning. Temperature will hover between 25 and 39 degrees Celsius. And Bengaluru will have mist. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 33 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails India's achievement of $400 billion exports in his Mann Ki Baat program, urges people to make the local global and enhance prestige of the Indian products. Small entrepreneurs are playing a major role in government procurement through government e-marketplace, says the Prime Minister. DRDO successfully flight tests Indian Army's medium-range surface-to-air missile. Power Ministry issues advisory for ensuring electricity supply in view of strike call by the National Convention of Workers. India reiterates that its partnership with Maldives is a real force of stability and prosperity for the Indian Ocean region. Over 183 crore 20 lakh doses of COVID vaccines administered under the nationwide vaccination drive so far. In Swiss Open Badminton, PV Sindhu wins the women's singles title, beating Thailand's Busanan Ongmarungpa in the final at Basel. Delhi Capitals beat Mumbai Indians by 4 wickets in IPL cricket. Another match underway between Punjab Kings and Royal Challengers Bangalore and Mumbai. And in ICC Women's World Cup, South Africa defeat India by 3 wickets at Hagley Oval. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.